Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We're here at Friday, so it's time for us to do a recap and an overview of the games I played this week. I'm going to share my thoughts with you and my opinions, and whether I think you guys should play them or not. I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. If you've played any of the games I shared with you today, let me know your thoughts on them. I'm always interested in hearing about the games you guys play, as that gives me ideas of new games to play and experience, and I'm always looking for recommendations of games to check out. Today is my final episode for 2024 for releasing videos in this weekly gaming playlist series. Next Friday will actually be in January, starting off a whole brand new year. I've had a really good time with this series. If you guys haven't seen, I did release a video earlier this week going over all the games I beat for 2024, which was 24 games total. I had played more, but those were just the games that I actually was able to beat, and I had a blast with it, and I'm hoping that next year in 2025 I can beat even more games than I did now. I also hope you guys had a great Christmas. I was able to spend time with friends and family and got some great gifts, which I'll be sharing in a future pickups video, and I was also able to give out some good gifts to friends and family as well. So I've got one game to share with you guys this week that I've been playing. I've actually been able to take a little small vacation with Christmas off. I don't have to go back to work until Sunday, so it's been nice having some days off to spend with family. And I've been able to get some gaming time in, and I'm going back to an old classic of mine that I want to finally beat. I've played it on the 360 a couple different times, and I played it on my Xbox One, and I'm finally playing it on my Series X. And that game is Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition, which includes all 24 previously released DLCs, which some of it is cosmetic, some of it adds new cars, so you get new clothing and weapons and stuff like that. But then others are also two big DLC expansion packs that add to the game that I've never played before, because I never had the DLC for the 360 version. Wonderful game. So you play as Wei Shen. Now he's an undercover cop, and he's infiltrated the Sunanyi Triad gang, which is kind of like the Chinese version of the mafia, organized crime, and he's trying to bring them down, the key players and the little guys and big guys. He's trying to infiltrate the organization by becoming a member and work his way up to get to the top so he can dismantle the Triad gang. And along the way, he kind of gets involved with it and some of the people. And so he has to balance being a cop with being a Triad member. And so that's where the whole story takes place. And there's a lot of ups and downs, and funny stuff happens and sad stuff happens. It's a really fantastic story, and I've really been enjoying it. It's an open world third-person adventure, a place similar to like how the Grand Theft Auto games started playing once they started with Grand Theft Auto 3. It's got a really good game though, good graphics, good music, especially on the Series X. You get a boost to everything, loads real fast, and the cars look beautiful, especially at nighttime in the rain. It's got really good music in the game as well, so you have your radio stations that you can select from. There's a lot of main story missions for you to go through, which is cool. There's also missions you can play as a cop. Then there's missions you can play for the Triad. There's street racing in the game, so if you like racing, there's a bunch of races to go into. You have a variety of vehicles, from crappy beater cars all the way up to really nice cars, which there is a variety of real-world cars in the game, which is cool. So you got a lot of that. So I'll read you guys from the back. Undercover, the rules are different. You are Wei Shen, an undercover cop trying to take down the Triads from the inside. The definitive edition of the award-winning open-world action-adventure, rebuilt and remastered, includes all previously available downloadable content and a wealth of new enhancements. Hong Kong is your playground, which is cool because you get to play in Hong Kong, which is nice. Ruthless kung fu combat, weapons and gunfighting, thrilling street races with exotic cars and bikes, dominate Hong Kong's buzzing streets, which is cool too, is there's a decent amount of cities and little towns broke up for you in Hong Kong to go around. A lot of great NPCs are around to say interesting things. There's all kinds of different merchants, vendors for you to buy things from, and shops, and just a really enjoyable experience. So let's check out Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition. Alright guys, today we're playing Sleeping Dogs. Now this is the definitive edition that was released for the Xbox One and PS4. Now I first played this game when it was released on the Xbox 360 and I really loved that game. I got really far in it, but I never beat it. And then eventually they ported it to the 8th gen consoles and they added all of the previous DLC that you had to buy. So you get the complete package in one, which I really like because I never bought the DLC for the 360 version. And so I stopped playing the 360 one when I got this one and started playing it. And it's been a few years since I was playing this one. I've decided to just continue my story as I'd really like to complete this game. And this week I've put in quite a bit of time in this and I've gotten really far in it. It's basically like a place just like Grand Theft Auto, where it's a open world third-person adventure title, you know, where you got driving and shooting and fighting. You got main missions to go on, side missions to go on. And I've been having a blast with it so far. Now what's cool is you have the main game you can play in, but then you also have the DLC expansion packs I never played in. Nightmare in North Point and Year of the Snake, as well as all the extra cosmetic DLC that they include in it. So let's check it out. And it loads really quickly for Xbox One title, which I'm playing on my Series X, so you do get a little boost up to the graphics. You play as Wei Shen, who's an undercover cop. He works for the Hong Kong Police Department because this game takes place in Hong Kong, which is really cool. It's a great setting for a game, instead of being always set in America like the Grand Theft Auto games are. There's quite a few outfits for you to unlock in the game. You can buy them. And then there's also some pretty cool DLC costumes and stuff, references to different kinds of movies, which is neat. Like here's Agent 47, so obviously from the Hitman series. There's a Yakuza style, Russian style. So it's really cool, and as you play the game you unlock different things. Like here's a Kill Bill reference. There's one to Deus Ex, that's pretty cool. This high roller one looks pretty cool. And so sometimes some of these outfits actually will give you extra abilities. Sometimes they come with a gun or a weapon, or they'll boost one of your stats, which is pretty cool. So the game does have a pretty decent sized map for you, broke up into 4 different little segments where you're able to drive around and complete missions. There's also boats in the game you can use, so you can travel around in the ocean. And then in the main, right within here, sometimes, you know, there's little rivers and stuff that you can run through, which is pretty cool. And then there's a lot of side things for you to do. You have races that you can go on. And then, like I said, there's the main story for you to go on, which is these little green icons. There's side missions for you to do. And then there's also a whole bunch of collectibles, which I've been working on. There's 50 health shrines, which I finally got all 50. There's spy cameras where he's able to hack into cameras. And then you're able to use the cameras to crack down on criminals doing drug busts and things like that, which is cool. I've got 25 of 26. And then there's all these lockboxes throughout the world that are guarded by enemies, and they contain weapons, and sometimes they contain money, which you use your currency to buy stuff. You know, you can buy upgrades, you can buy new clothes and stuff for your character, which is cool. So you've got all that kind of stuff to do. And then here in your upgrade keeps track of, like, you have cop upgrades and then there's triad upgrades. So since you're an undercover cop, you do some cop missions, but you also do some triad missions because you infiltrated a triad as you're trying to take them down. And as you play through the different missions for the different sides, you unlock abilities for you, and you get them through here. You have your triad ones, which I still got quite a few to do. Melee training, which is cool because there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat, and there's a little master that teaches you, and you unlock different abilities as you progress. There's also what's called face. This is basically like how the world views you, doing things to help the community. You get stronger and you start unlocking more points, which you can then unlock other things in this. And then here's where you get your health upgrades by finding the health shrine. Since I found all 50, I have a 100% boost to my health, so I have double the health than when I started the game, which is great. And you have your statistics here, which keeps track of all of the stats of you playing for your looking for collectibles, your racing, the weapons if you unlocked, all kinds of great stuff like that. Now, this game does have a huge focus on martial arts and fighting, because it's set in Hong Kong. You know, it's not just, you don't just always have guns all the time, but there are a huge variety of weapons, and you do get to fight with guns at points. There's a cool garage feature here which keeps track of all the vehicles that you've unlocked. And there's different ones you can have, police ones, and different cars, motorcycles, which is pretty cool. And then any of these parking lots, you can take them out for yourself. Game controls really well. You know, just like if you played any kind of Grand Theft Auto games, you know, you'll feel right at home with this. It does control well, fighting as well. Now, there are a variety of radio stations that you can listen to, but I have the music for the radio turned off just so I don't have to worry about maybe getting like a copyright strike here. But there is a variety of music for you to listen to as you drive around town. And the city is absolutely, looks great. Love the huge buildings. I just love this Hong Kong setting. Now, one thing I had to get used to when I first started playing this game is, since they're over in Hong Kong, you know, they drive on the left side of the road, not the right side like we do in America. So I had to get used to that. It just takes you like 10 minutes or so of playing. You'll be able to figure it out. Now on the map, you can set waypoints to places, which is cool. And you can use the mini-map by looking down there in the bottom left corner, but the road will actually tell you where to go. You'll see the blue arrows will tell you to turn here, so you don't always have to pay attention to looking at the mini-map to figure out where you're going. Like in some of the Grand Theft Auto games, you know, you'd have to constantly pause if you didn't know the layout of the city, but after you play a while, you'll figure out the layout and where stuff is. Ooh. I actually can show you guys combat real quick, because there's some enemies down here. But I've been having a lot of fun with this. It's got an amazing story, great voice acting too. There's some famous voice actors in this that you'll notice by hearing their voices. There they are. And so you'll always find these little groups of these thugs that are guarding those lockboxes. And I've already got it, but they will respawn. And you'll have a variety of different enemies to fight too. Some are stronger than others, and some can grapple you and stuff, so you guys have to see a little bit of combat here. You can counter with the Y button, and then X does your actual punches. Damn. Oh, I hope it didn't glitch. Oh, I think it glitched on me. You do have to watch out, though. Sometimes there are glitches in it that I've noticed. Like I had one time, I was in a car, and I randomly hit a light pole, and my guy just like literally flew out of the car and into the sky real high, and the game started glitching around. And I ended up dying, so there are still some glitches that were present in the 7th gen versions that you'll find here. There we go, got that bastard. And then see, and after you beat him, then you'll be able to go over here and get your money or your gun that was there. I've been having a lot of fun with Sleeping Dogs, so if you guys have never played it before and you like games like Grand Theft Auto, I highly recommend you guys check out Sleeping Dogs. I would recommend get the Definitive Edition over the 7th Gen ones, the PS3 or 360 version, because you're going to get a boost to the graphics. You're going to also get all the additional DLC that was released for the 7th Gen versions for free with this one, and it's also a fairly cheap title. I sit here all the time, priced between like $5 and $10, and I'm sure online it's around the same price, and it's a really good game, so definitely recommend you guys check out Sleeping Dogs. Alright guys, that was our look at Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition. Really have been having a lot of fun with this game. I'm halfway done with the game through all the missions in the game. I'm going through all the story missions. I'm doing all the side missions that are in there because there's a variety of those. I've got almost all the collectibles as well. I have all the health shrines. I just have to get the last of the lock boxes, which I have only about a third of those left to get. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's definitely a game I think you guys should check out if you've never played the original ones on the 7th Gen, the 360 port, or the PS3 version. Highly recommend getting either for PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. I would recommend even this Xbox One version because you can play it on your Series X with enhancements, and it's a very enjoyable experience. If you like the Grand Theft Auto games, you definitely will like Sleeping Dogs. I really am liking it. I really wish that they would have eventually released like a Sleeping Dogs 2 or another game in the series, maybe with new characters and stuff. I think that would have been really cool. It's a really awesome game that I'm having an absolute blast with. Definitely think you guys should check it out. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Have you guys ever played the original Sleeping Dogs? Have you ever played the Definitive Edition? I'd love to hear about the games you guys are currently playing. And if you guys have any recommendations on a game you think I might enjoy, please keep those coming, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. And I hope you guys have a wonderful new year here, and I'm looking forward to an awesome 2025, as I want to try to beat maybe like 30 games next year. And I do want to play some games that aren't just Xbox. This year's pretty much been like the year of Xbox for me. I've really been focusing on playing a lot of original Xbox One, Series X games, 360 titles. But there are some games for other consoles like the Switch and PlayStation and stuff that I would like to play next year. So I'm going to try to vary it up here with some other games to knock off of my giant backlog that I have of games. But again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.